But anyways, since Xavier Mustafa is so excited to talk about AEW, what on
Oh,
this show
I
particularly?
hear some hate coming on.
What on this show particularly did you hate? We're not gonna go match by match, shot by shot. What did you hate?
Oh, why can't we? Oh, okay. So the first problem I had with this show is you have Cody Rhodes come out there, then you have Eddie Kingston come out, cut a passionate promo, and then promptly do the job to Cody Rhodes. So I had a problem with that.
It was a
Just
good
because there
match.
was, it was a good match, but there was like no build to it. It was just like, why is this on regular TV? Like, this is something that they could have milked for a couple, even if they were going to do it on TV. They could have milked it a couple of weeks. They just blew their whole wad on that right away. Right away.
I give you that, but the match was good, and I think we all can agree Cody does too much. He
Cody,
didn't have to take them damn thumbtacks.
he gives a lot. I have a lot of respect for Cody because, there's some people that wouldn't do that for people.
Not on
So I give
television.
respect on that. But, like I felt he gave, and no offense to him, but I think he gave Sonny Kiss way too much out of nowhere. Like they could have built Sonny Kiss up for several weeks, have him beat some people, then get up there to Cody Rhodes. Then it makes sense for them to have a back and forth match. But for him to come out of nowhere and just get a match with Cody Rhodes that Cody Rhodes can, I don't want to say he barely beat him. I mean, because he did beat him pretty decisively. Excuse me. Um, but I just thought it was way too much, and I thought they dropped the ball on this. Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's Eddie Kingston, so it's not like he can't cut another passionate promo and get you completely invested once again. He's one of the best promos in wrestling. So
It is, but he lost already.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
but it's also Eddie
That's the
Kingston.
thing.
Eddie Kingston is like Samoa Joe. He could keep losing, but he can cut a promo so good. Think about The Rock. The Rock lost more matches than he won, but The Rock was such a good shit talker that you always believe.
But
Let me let me ask y'all a question. So, do you think that the commentators, what they were saying about Eddie Kingston, you think that shit's a shoot, or do you think that's just kayfabe? This nigga sold his boots to pay his mortgage during the pandemic, and when he get the call, they were just talking about how those are a new pair of boots, or Jared was like, or he borrowed them.
I think they were shooting a lot of the time.
You know what?
If you notice, if you listen to it, especially JR is the king of that. He'll throw so much shade, and if you ain't paying attention, you don't realize it's shade. You go back, you be like, wait a minute, JR was throwing a lot of shade when he said that.
Oh yeah, JR was throwing plenty of shade this week when he got on the podcast and he said that AEW, you should DVR NXT and watch AEW first because like they're way more entertaining than NXT is, which I would agree with, and it looks like the world is agreeing with because I think NXT had about 615,000 viewers this week, while AEW had 840 something thousand viewers this week, and that's without the DVR added in. All right. Well, we covered the Eddie Kingston. What else, Mustafa? Normally I lead the AEW section, but you were so excited.
Okay, so there was, I believe, 2 matches that started with the bell ringing as somebody was being attacked. That's not how that works in wrestling. You let the bell ring, then you attack the person. If you attack the person, the bell shouldn't ring. That happened. The Butcher and the Blade versus the Young Bucks. That match was like an hour and 47 minutes of the 2-hour program. And it was just typical Bucks putting themselves over. Super kick, super kick, super kick.
Okay. Anyways, my favorite part of this Butcher the Blade versus the Young Bucks match was it was a false count anywhere match. So the Young Bucks grabbed the cameraman and the referee. They went to find the Butcher and the Blade. They were working in the kitchen, cutting up some steaks and stuff. I guess heavy machinery was somewhere in the building as well. And so they washed their hands and made sure they got all of the E. coli and all of that stuff off of their hands. And they hung their aprons up all nice and cleared all the knives off of the tables from the steaks and everything. And then the match commenced. And then the dirty-ass Young Bucks slapped them with raw meat across their face. I thought that it was Brazzers. I forgot it was AEW by that point. And then they were powerbombing each other on the metal tables in the kitchen. They worked their way outside. I popped when they were fighting by the semi-truck, and there was a sign inside the semi-truck that said Mud Show.
I did pop for that.
And apparently during this match, the Bucks and I believe the Blade got busted up pretty good internally. So you might not see the Bucks wrestling for maybe a week or two, as well as the Blade. It mainly happened when they did the stereo splashes through the tables to the Butcher and the Blade to win the match. So the Young Bucks won that match.
Just looking at the whole, like when how they started the match. The Young Bucks all big and bad, walking around looking for the Butcher and the Blade. You see these guys, across from each other, and you're just like, these two kids have no chance against these grown-ass men. And who wins the match? The Young Bucks.
Hold on.
Mustafa said, it's your typical Young Bucks shtick. Super kick.
Hold up,
high spot, no sell.
Hold up, you talk about grown ass man losing to little kids, but didn't you lose to Devin August?
Hey. I got put on some goddamn Legos against the boards, no padding, no tarp, none of that shit.
They got put through a table.
Well, the table didn't break. So.
All right, let's talk about.
Hold on. Look, my one gripe about this match is that when they were fighting in the kitchen, I'll be damned if I let a grown ass man slap me across my face with his raw meat and I don't go grab a knife.
And the cleaver was right there.
Yeah, so I want to talk about. I had to step away from the television for a second and came back to MJF versus Griff Garrison, and I thought it was Jungle Boy. I was like, oh, he's wrestling Jungle Boy. I was like, oh, that's Jungle Boy's doppelganger out there in the ring, and obviously MJF won this match, but I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, that segment was entertaining. MJF is a master on the mic.
I would have to say
it was entertaining.
Yeah, I would have to say
he was calling him Jungle Man, and the guy is just like, my name is blah blah blah. So whoever this jobber was, I mean, he played his role pretty well.
Right. I would have to salute AEW on improving their women's division with the pickups of Diamante and Ivelisse. I enjoyed this women's match. There was a lot of Latino heat out there in the ring. My one gripe about this match is that they interrupted the match for Big Swole to cut a promo on
who didn't sound convincing at all.
Yeah, on Britt Baker.
Yeah.
So that was my gripe. I was like, damn, you just straight up disrespected these two people that you're pretty much just introduced. Well, actually, no, not even pretty much. That you're just now introducing to the worldwide audience because they've only wrestled on Dark. And so I thought that was a little bit disrespectful, but maybe that was just me.
All right, let's get to a problem that I had on the show with the next match. So Paige comes out. Of course, he's doing a singles match because he's the tag team champions. You know how that is. So not only is he wrestling a singles match, all right, he's wrestling this dude that's like 4'12" and part of the Dark Mafia, whatever it's called. So midway through this very competitive match between these two even-sized competitors, I put in quotation marks, the Dark Order comes out. They come out and they set up on the stage. They watch their guy lose. Okay? Then when they watch their guys lose, they don't do anything. Paige continues to celebrate his victory and cuts a promo. That whole span probably took about a good 5 to 6 minutes. He had his back towards Dark Order the entire time.
Didn't Evil Uno actually get in the ring at one point?
Somebody got in the ring. I can't remember.
No, it was Brody Lee.
Yeah. But I'm like, if I don't care, like you have to act a little bit like it's real life. If I'm somewhere fighting somebody, right, and they click coming, there's 6 of them, and they sit there and watch me beat up their guy and pin their guy, because we pin in fights, and then, like, I'm not going to keep my eye on these group of people. So he totally disrespected and made me not even want to give them credit for being a faction, because he basically called them some bitches. I don't care. Right. I don't care enough about you so much that I'm going to have my back towards to you like you ain't shit. And so I was offended by that, because Paige should know better. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so then finally you have the Exalted Ruler come out with Colt Cabana, and then he cuts a promo, and then Colt Cabana leaves. And I think that's when Uno came in to do something, and then I think he beat up all of the Dark Order and then left. I think that's how that works. So yeah, trash.
I like how you watch AEW just to shit on them.
And, I don't want to shit on it, but you know what? Like, I don't go into detail like Jim Cornette does, but it's like the big egregious things. I just kind of be like, come on, you should know better.
It still sounds like he was entertained by the show, though, because you only notice when you're actually paying attention. I did like the Taz promo that he was cutting, defending his actions.
Yes.
As far as throwing in the towel for Brian Cage, and I actually like Ricky Starks with joining up with Taz, but I don't know if you guys saw on our Facebook page, I said we had Reckless Rollins and now we got Reckless Ricky, because while Taz was cutting the promo defending his actions with Brian Cage, they were interrupted by the Darby Allin. Yeah, they were interrupted by Darby Allin, who made his way down to the ring, and before he could step through the ropes, Ricky Starks came down and just blindsided him from behind, blasted him in the back of the neck. His head bounced off of the ropes, and they're saying that he may have a concussion, so they don't know how long Darby's going to be out. And he just returned from injury. And I actually watched AEW Dark this week, and on AEW Dark, Darby Allin came out and ended up getting powerbombed into the ring by Brian Cage as well. So it's going to be very sad if he's out once again with another injury. And this is a very promising guy. You don't want him to start just getting all these injuries, and especially when they come with concussions this early on in his career. So prayers and well wishes out for Darby Allin, that he's not too beat up too badly, and especially going along with what I said earlier with the Bucks also being injured. If Darby Allin and the Bucks have to be out for any period of time, that's kind of bad for AEW. But some good news is that AEW did get back one person who really had become the heart and soul of this show, in my opinion. Definitely noticed that he wasn't there. Sammy Guevara made his triumphant return at the end of the night. It was Jericho and Jake Hager taking on the Jurassic Express of Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. Jericho Jericho and Hager went over on the Jurassic Express with the help of Proud and Powerful. And then they all started stomping out the Jurassic Express. And what's his name? Not Fantastic. Is it Fantastico? No, Serpentico. Whatever their luchador's name is. I think it's Serpentico. Got in the ring and hit a moonsault onto the Jurassic Express. And then he took the mask off, revealing that it was actually Sammy Guevara returning from his suspension due to the comments he had made about wanting to rape Sasha Banks. So
You know what's funny about that is I was actually when I was watching the show, I was thinking about it. I was like, dang, when is dude going to be coming back? Because it's been a long time. Like, did they say, I was trying to look and see how long they said his suspension was. It was never mentioned, and then he popped up. The only problem I have with Sammy Guevara now with his return is now you got a Ricky Starks there, and they're very similar. Or is it just me? I don't know.
I was thinking that, but I also think that that's why they aligned Ricky Starks with Taz. And you're gonna see him being a little bit more dark. And then Sammy's comic relief, where Ricky Starks is gonna be taken a little bit more serious, I believe. It's just it's gonna be an odd pairing seeing Ricky Starks standing next to Brian Cage. So that's gonna be very unique to see.
This is what I want AEW to do. I want AEW to take a step back. I think they need to do some reorganization. Think they need to put people in key places that know what they're doing. So you have people like your Arn Andersons and stuff like that that are backstage. Get them in key agent positions. Make sure they're in on the booking. And they need to work towards building stars, because I don't think they really built anybody, with the exception, I don't even know if you can really say they built Orange Cassidy, because he was kind of always over.
From what I understand with Orange Cassidy is that Tony Khan saw what Orange Cassidy can do. This is all what I've heard, and we all know about what they say about the wrestling business. Tony Khan saw what Orange Cassidy was capable of and told him, whoa, save that. We're not going to do that just yet. Go out there and still do all your lazy, nonchalant shit. And it wasn't until that match he had with Pac that I can even admit, I was like, holy shit, this guy can fucking work. And I think that they did properly build him, because they kind of slowly built that anticipation up. They built him up a little bit more and a little bit more, and then bam, he's explosive. And everyone now, you want to see that. So I think they properly have built him up, although it's still in the early stages of the build.
Well, they built him up in that respect, yes. But I think from the beginning, he always was an over character. I mean, think about it. When he first showed up in that gimmick battle royal where they had the cards, and whoever pulled the cards, that suit got to come in at different intervals, the overly complicated battle royal of the first show. But he was over with the diehards.
Mm-hmm. Look, I know
not overall, the overall fan base.
As someone who watches AEW on a weekly basis, not sporadically like Xavier Mustafa, I would say they've done a very good job of building stars, which is why they're kicking NXT's ass right now. Also because NXT really doesn't have any stars right now. They're and especially if Adam Cole leaves, like the people that NXT has right now have become pretty much stale, because the majority of them have done everything that they could possibly do in NXT. But then,
but we was just talking about big dude winning the match, Brody or whatever that kid's name is. So they're doing something different with him. Shotzi Blackheart.
No. What I'm saying is, but
bringing more people up to take.
You're ignoring what I said in the beginning. I said they really don't have any stars right now. They're in a rebuilding phase, which is. So NXT has done a very good job of building their stars. Sammy Guevara is pretty much a star. Orange Cassidy is pretty much a star. Darby Allin, pretty much a star. MJF, he's still kind of one of those niche people for most people, because he hasn't appeared on television as consistently as a lot of these other guys. But I would say they've done as well of a job as you can, which is why their fan base is either remaining steady or growing. And some weeks you see the numbers are higher, some weeks you see the numbers are lower. But for the most part, AEW is consistently on Wednesday nights been delivering over 800,000 viewers. And let's not forget that they are the demo gods.
Okay, but I'm gonna have to put in my 2 cents about how they built someone up pretty fucking poorly. What the fuck are they doing with my boy Lance Archer? It seems like his
Oh, actually,
his momentum has all of but fucking stopped.
yeah, he shouldn't have lost. And I also wanted to bring that up.
Like he came in going after Cody. He loses
Then
to
he was
him
off television.
and never goes back.
Well, then he was off television until this week because he wasn't even on the TV pay-per-view stuff they had. So this week they had him go in the locker room and just destroy people. And I thought the guy he put through the ceiling, I really thought that was Rockstar Spud. I was like, is that Rockstar Spud just got put through the ceiling and then thrown in the trash can?
Oh, they need some other big dudes like in New Japan that's gonna like him and
See, the thing,
that guy can just have some fucking stiff fucking matches.
See, that's the thing I would have to say about AEW. That's one of their problems. They don't know how to book big man because they got all these tiny guys, and now they're getting the Brian Cages and the Brody Lees and the Murder Hawk and all of these guys with size, but you're having them lose to Cody and you're having them lose to John Moxley and you're having them lose to all these different people. AEW has to do a better job with that. And I do know Tony Khan did announce that some cuts are on the way. And
cuts? That's shocking.
Some cuts are on the way. Some people they may have buyer's remorse about. So we'll see.
Joey Janela.
We'll see who stays and who
Young
goes. Oh my God. One more thing about AEW. AEW did announce that they have a women's tag team tournament coming this summer, and it's called the Deadly Draw. It's going to be 16 women, and it's going to be 8 teams. One of the teams that we know currently is going to be Brandy Rhodes and Allie. So I'm always here for Allie.
I could guarantee that their women's tag team division tournament, whatever we're going to call it, is going to blow whatever bullshit women's tag team shit that WWE has done. I'll give them that much.
Do you think
I
so?
will say, yes.
Okay.
I think that this is going to be a lot better than anything that WWE has tried to do with their women's tag team division.
Okay, Chris Black. Name 4 of the women in AEW. Name 4 of them.
That's what's going to make it interesting. Is
Okay, because you can't. Because you can't.
Wow,
but I guarantee whatever they put out is going to be better than what we fucking gotten from the women's
disrespect
tag team division.
Hey,
this is just a tag team cup. This is just a tournament, so you can have just random broads tagging with each other and win the tournament. But whatever they do is still going to be better than what the WWE has done with their women's tag division.
Yeah. Also on this show, you also had Britt Baker. We mentioned her. She did announce that she'll be back for All Out. So that means she'll be back in 2 months from her injury. Now speaking,
and Big Swole is looking for a tag team partner. So that's one team. Big Swole plus one.
And then when you said Brandy Rhodes, I keep thinking about what Brian Last on the
she's gonna get herself on
Jim
that show.
Cornette Experience always says. She is going to find a way to be on that show.